Hey Booktube, this is Kelly. Thank you so much for watching my channel, Books I'm Not Reading. And thank you so much all of you who joined in and celebrated my 5 years on Booktube. It was 5 years ago today actually that I sat at our kitchen table and made a tiny little video about Pride and Prejudice. So it's been a fantastic 5 years. I'm so grateful for all of you. So thank you, those of you who joined in some of the silliness. I do have to say though, those of you who make multiple videos in a day or who do something like Vlogmas, hats off to you. That is an impressive thing because just this week alone has been really difficult for me to pull off. So we will not be doing anything on this level for quite some time. Maybe never. But anyway, so I have been trying to make this video for a while now. And yeah, I'm just so tired, you guys, that I'm not speaking as clearly as I would like to, and my brain is I feel like my brain is misfiring a little bit. So I'm just gonna try to keep this really short. I did finish a book, actually probably had it finished last weekend. That is The Time Traveler's Wife by Audrey Niffenegger. I have been meaning to read this book for a year and a half. It was on my high priority for 2022. I rolled it over this year because I really felt like I needed to reread it to see if I still loved it as much as when I first read it when it came out. I don't know if you guys remember the hardcover for this book. It was huge. It was just gigantic. And I remember freaking out at the library going, how am I going to read this book in 7 days when it's due again? And I devoured it. I read it in 4 days, and this go around I read it in about 7 days. So for me it's just very I don't know, a compulsive read. Like there were times where I just couldn't stop from reading. So I'm so glad I finally have it off my high priority TBR. I don't think I'm gonna roll anything over, and I've really minimized my high priority TBR on Goodreads, and you can check out my Goodreads channel down below. But nonetheless, I'm really glad I reread it. Henry and Claire are a couple. I don't want to go into the logistics of how they meet and that sort of thing, because Henry is very complicated. He has some sort of disorder or impairment that causes him to travel back and forth in time, not only back in time, but also into the future. And in his present life, like, he may disappear and he may be, wherever he goes, he may be there for hours, or he may be there for, a few minutes. It doesn't, yeah, it's very complicated, like his time traveling, because however long he's been gone in the present, like, does not correspond to how long he was gone in the past or the future. So one of the things that made me want to reread this was Jason's reading aloud to me some of the sex scenes in this book. There is a lot of sex is mentioned a lot in the book. I don't know why Audrey Niffenegger felt the need to do that, but there's really not that much graphic. It's not explicit or anything like that. There's maybe 3 explicit scenes. Otherwise, it's just mentioning it, very casually about it. So for me, what I love about this book is the love story. I feel like Audrey Niffenegger did such a great job of really, truly making me believe that Henry and Claire loved each other so much, so deeply, and had an understanding of each other that is only possible because of his time travel capabilities, I guess, if you will. So anyway, it made me cry this time, which I don't remember. I don't remember that happening the first time. And I have not watched the film yet, but I think Eric Bana and Rachel McAdams are extremely well cast for Henry and Claire. So I may watch the movie this weekend, but right now I just really want to sleep, you guys. I need some sleep. So I am gonna drop it. It was a 5-star book on my Goodreads account. I'm gonna drop it down a little bit, but I've decided, yeah, I can't quite part with it. So it is not a perfect book. Maybe someday I'll make a 5 books that I love that are flawed video. Because I do have that. I definitely have books I love that I know have some flaws to them, but for whatever reason, I still enjoy them. And I'm hoping that Aaron Read a Book is watching this, because he always, it's almost like I can hear him screaming at the camera when I talk about this book. But he's read a lot of time travel books. So Aaron, I really want to know, I'd love to see a video from you about great time travel books, because it is such a cool literary device, right? And I think Audrey Niffenegger does it in a very different way than any other time travel book that I've read. So that's what I finished. I am still reading the other high priority book from 2022 that I'm gonna finish hopefully before I talk to you guys again. And it's The Oregon Trail by Rinker Buck. Now, initially, I thought this book was just a history of the Oregon Trail, but it's actually kind of also part memoir, which is very interesting. Rinker Buck and his brother get mules, get a wagon, set out from Missouri, and travel on the Oregon Trail. But there is also a lot of, so there's like what they're experiencing as they go on the Oregon Trail, and then Rinker Buck, I mean, man, he does some really deep dives into different aspects about the Oregon Trail. I know more about mules and wagons than I'm not sure if I needed to know that much about mules and wagons. But for whatever reason, I do love reading about places that are familiar to me. And even though I still have probably 300 pages to go, they're getting very close to very familiar places to me, places I went to many times, many field trips in school. So I'm excited to, and even where I live now has been mentioned multiple times in the book. So I'm gonna try to finish this in the next week. Fingers crossed. Yeah, so, but again, I'm really wiped out by this week. And so I definitely hope that I will come back with a Friday Reads video next week. If not, I will put an announcement up on my community tab, which you can access from your phone or your personal computer. Unfortunately, you can't access the community tab on your tablet, but I will post something if I'm not gonna make a video. But fingers crossed, I will have finished the Oregon Trail by the next time I talk to you, and then I can just randomly pick something to read. I'm very excited about that. But the Oregon Trail is taking precedence right now. So I would love to know what you are reading. Booktube, remember to be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and I'll be back before long with another bookish video. Take care. Bye.